What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What does that mean? Did I break it?
Hello everyone and welcome to Veteran Gaming. I am Aaron. Today we're going to be talking about Eternal Evolution, and we're going to be talking about some things that I wish I knew when I started playing this game. If I relay them to you, hopefully you guys will be able to maximize your account and get the most out of your game time. If you guys aren't already playing Eternal Evolution, highly recommend it. Make sure you click the links down below. They will directly benefit me and my channel, and I cannot thank you enough. Now I'm going to talk about some of these things that, may seem basic to you, but they may not seem basic to everybody else. Is it a little embarrassing that I maybe didn't know some of these things right away? Absolutely. But I don't mind being embarrassed. It's happened before. It's going to happen again. I'm just trying to make videos that will help you guys not make the same mistakes that I'm making. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in.
Cannonball!
The first thing I want to go ahead and talk about today is a general overall strategy, and that is do not force your account. Okay, this is kind of like a raid. It's not like Marvel Strike Force or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes where you pick a character you want to go for, you farm towards that character, right? These are all random draws based on percentages, other than some guaranteed pulls in the limited cards, granted. But don't force your account. Play with what the game gives you. And frankly, the game gives you a couple of amazing characters right away. So this is my totally free-to-play account, and Oysa and Sorietta are two of the starting characters. You get a tank and an energy damage character, and they are absolutely outstanding heroes. When I first started playing on my main account, I saw that Oysa was a free tank right away. I saw that on tier lists that some people had made that, Oak and Boar and Hercules were up there. So I started trying to spend resources to get to those tanks, thinking I needed them to progress, which is just insanity. I run a team right now with Sorietta, Oysa, Leo, Serena, and Senway, which, Senway came from the Rise of Heroes. But with those five, I'm at 36-38 inside 2 months. And I'm at Decent Caves 15 farming. My arena, granted this will change from server to server, but my regular arena is 33. I mean, you can get so much done with those heroes. So don't just think because a hero isn't out there on the top of a tier list, you can't use them and use them well in this game. I'm not telling you to go out there and run with like Karma all the way, because Karma is really not that strong. But some of the heroes out there, you can get a lot done with. Paluno's been doing great for me. Nobody ever talks about Paluno, but he can do some serious work once you get him evolved. So if the game just seems to be handing you copies of Falvea or Paluno or somebody out there, run with it. Work on those characters. They're going to get you work done in this game.
Work, 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 work.
And while we're here talking about heroes, let's talk about remaining focused. We want to especially focus on our first 5-man super team that's going to get all of our resources. But even after that, let's include one more character at a time. That way we're going to still get that highest level. We're going to get to Decent Caves 15 to get the most legendary gear. We're going to be able to knock down some Twilight Lands content, some Ancient Altar content, get more rewards. So we want to focus on our first initial 5-man team, but then we'll start broadening our horizons a little bit. Frankly, a lot of these characters like Lirin and Artis and Ornn here, I wasn't trying to build them at all. They just came to me, and that's why they're so up. But as you can see, I have more Immortals than I have Legendaries, because I'm trying to stay as focused as possible on this account to make sure that I'm getting the most rewards, because once I have that super team up there that's giving me the more rewards, it's that much easier to build the follow-on characters.
And now for something completely different.
The next thing I want to talk about are these runes. Now, they look kind of like the hammers if you're not paying attention to upgrade your items, but they are not. They are very different and they are very important, which is something that as a first casual glance, I didn't notice right away, and maybe that's a little bit embarrassing on me, but as I've already said, I'm not afraid to embarrass myself, because sometimes we just get in go, 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 go mode, and we don't realize that these are actually different. So these runes are what you use to unlock your exclusive abilities on your heroes. And the other kind of confusing thing is when you click on them, it says Mythic Rune, exclusive weapon upgrading materials. So again, even when I clicked on it to see exactly what they did, it still seemed like it was upgrading the gear that your heroes were wearing, not the abilities that the exclusives go. So I think that the wording isn't necessarily great either. But these are things that you need to buy with your diamonds every single time. All of them. Because those... get up here, shop. Once you do unlock that in the Wasteland, they will appear in the shop, which is nice. And the other place, I mean, sometimes they do show up in the goods here, but Wasteland might be your best opportunity to get them. So this is really, really important because, as I said, they upgrade the massive abilities. You know, if you're playing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes or something, it's like your Zeta. If you're playing Raid, I don't even know, like Ascending plus booking them out, I guess. But they are used for massive abilities that will show you. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Your exclusive. This is what they're used for. As you can see right down here, but you can't click on them. So again, it's kind of hard to tell. They kind of look like the hammers. Anyway, not going to beat that dead horse. But they unlock these absolutely massive abilities, not your weapons. So a little bit confusing on the wording. Make sure you're buying those all the time because they are crazy important to upgrading your heroes.
And then?
The next thing I want to bring up is how important the events are in this game. So you're going to have the Twilight Lands that pop up for 2 weeks, you know, every couple of weeks. The Rise of Heroes events, the events where you're pulling cards, like the Details Gathering. There are so many different ways to get rewards in this game. You have to make sure you're staying on top of the events if you want to maximize your account and play as efficiently as possible. So, advanced cards. Yeah, they can help your account because you can go ahead and throw in here on your wish list and aim for some heroes you want. But advanced cards only get pulled during recruitment events. That way you're getting more resources when you're pulling the exact same amount of cards. Because if I pull advanced cards right now, 214, yeah, I'm going to get some heroes I need, but that's it. Other than the recruitment reward at the bottom. But if you pull during a recruitment event, then you're also going to be getting extra rewards for experience and soul rubelites, and you're also going to be getting extra copies of heroes like Serena. That's how I've gotten Serena to Immortal, is by getting some of those extra copies from the recruitment event. So make sure you're paying attention to what events are available, and especially on advanced cards. Advanced cards only get pulled during recruitment events.
And that's it!
The last thing that I'll briefly touch on real quick is gear. Gear is incredibly important. Don't get too focused on what kind of gear set it is. These stats down here, primary stats on the bottom row, are going to be the most important stats that you build out of the entire gear sets, because these are the ones that you can get percentage boosts, whereas these are all going to be flat stats, which are not going to be nearly as helpful. So you want to make sure that you're building everything around these big primary stats on the bottom. Even if that has to break up a set, sometimes that's necessary, because if you have a tank and doesn't have damage reduction boots, I don't care if these are critical strike damage reduction boots, you have to have damage reduction. So make sure the primary stats on this bottom row are the most important factors when you have building your gear. And again, even if it's, okay, you have, what, epic level gear that has damage reduction, but you have legendary that doesn't, you stick with the epic gear. You do not go up to legendary gear just because it's shiny, right? Stay with the most important stats, because gear will absolutely change how powerful your characters are and how far you go in this game. All right, so there you go. There are a couple of tips, things that I wish I knew when I first started the game. Don't force the account. Advanced cards are going to come only during recruitment events, and pay attention to your events. Those exclusive runes look like hammers, they're not, and they're crazy important. These are all really big things that are going to help build your account to the next level. So thanks for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you're not missing any upcoming content. Give me a big thumbs up if you can, and as always, have fun. Good luck.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.